So much has gone down in the NBA this week no one is talking about. Did you hear what Giannis said in the media? If he said this like 1 year ago, it would be the biggest story on every single news network, ESPN, YouTube, whatever. But now it's like no one even notices it. So, in a GQ interview, Giannis said something that would have broke the internet last year. Quote, winning a championship was very hard, but we did. Very, very hard. I just love challenges. What's the next challenge? The next challenge might not be here. Me and my family chose to stay in this city that we all love and is taking care of us for now. In 2 years, that might change. I'm just being totally honest with you. What? He later said that he doesn't have beef with the biggest stars in the league. He wants to play with Kevin Durant and with LeBron James and with Steph Curry. This is huge news. This dude is basically admitting, I don't necessarily want to be like Dirk or Kobe or Tim Duncan and stay with one franchise forever. Maybe people aren't paying close attention because like it was a GQ article, which is a fashion magazine, or maybe Giannis let his guard down because it was GQ. He probably wouldn't say this to like a scrum of NBA reporters or to ESPN, but he said it. Dude has 3 seasons left on his deal after this one, so he's not like leaving anytime soon. But we have to remember this quote when all the Giannis trade talk does come back around. All right, so hypothetically, who could he team up with in 3 years? All right, Giannis will be 29 years old. Steph would be 36, so would KD. LeBron would be 39. Like, I feel like they're too old. What about Luka? He would be 25 years old. Devin Booker would be 28 years old. Those two guys would be a good fit, and I think they might be looking for a new team around that time too. Giannis destroyed AD this week, and I think it's time to ask, how good is Anthony Davis actually? Giannis dropped 47 on him. The Lakers have been a disaster without LeBron. Per Cleaning the Glass, which is like my favorite stats site, the Lakers are 8.6 points per 100 possessions better with LeBron on the court. That means without LeBron, they have the 26th ranked offense. That is worse than the Pelicans this year. With LeBron, they're ranked number 5 in the league. I thought Russ was supposed to fix that. Like, he would take over to let Bron have some time off. But AD is getting the heat because he is supposed to be like the superstar in his prime, right? Well, the problem with that is that AD is a perfect number 2. He is not like that alpha dog to lead a team. LeBron is. So Laker fans, you can't have it both ways. Like, the reason he is a great fit with LeBron is because he is like a number 2. So when LeBron's out, you can't ask him to be that superstar number 1. He's just not. That's the reason he's a perfect fit on the Lakers. So no, you cannot have it both ways. Stop hating on AD so much. But we did get another real trade rumor this week. So the Sixers are talking to the Pistons about Ben Simmons for Jeremy Grant and some other pieces. And this was broke by Keith Pompey at the local Philly newspaper, so it is a legit report. He also said that some people inside the Sixers front office want to hold on to Ben for maybe a James Harden sign and trade if everything goes wrong in Brooklyn. Jeremy Grant is scoring about 18 points per game this year. He is a stretch 4 who can defend, who is in his prime. But honestly, I hate this trade for the Sixers because they already have a 4 who does Jeremy Grant things with Tobias Harris. This does not solve their biggest issue at point guard. If I am Philly, I hold on to Ben Simmons, however painful that is for like a CJ McCollum type deal. But if you're the Pistons, like, you do this in a heartbeat. Ben Simmons' talent is super rare. And I know people are gonna say, oh, but what about him and his 3-point shooting? Or what about him and the fact that like he's a head case? Honestly, that's gonna be the case with every single Ben Simmons trade. That problem is not like unique to the Pistons. But speaking of bad trades, I will always think that KD was stupid for leaving the Warriors. You have a dynasty set up for you. Great teammates. The reason he KD left is because of what other people thought about his 2 championships. KD wants to prove that he can win on his own. Well, that didn't work so well this week against the Dubs, right? Steph Curry and the Warriors dominated them in the third quarter, 35-18. Steph was amazing, hit 9 threes. Draymond held KD to 19 points. And listen to what Durant said about Steph after the game.
Just a crafty player that can pretty much do anything off the ball, that can cut to the rim, shoot floaters, shoot threes, and then he can handle the basketball too and get down to his spot.
It's like he's listing all the reasons that he misses Steph. Yeah, he can hit threes, he cuts well, he doesn't even need the ball to score. Meanwhile, I'm stuck here with don't care James Harden.
I mean, I've been there. He put in a ton of work. He cares about the game. He loves his teammates. Plays with energy, so that's what you get, every night is a player like that playing at All-Star, MVP, Hall of Fame level.
And I'm stuck with Kyrie Irving too, who's none of what I just said about Steph. He isn't even playing this year. Worst player in the NBA update. Earlier this season, I found NBAmath.com that shows how good every player in the league is. They take how many points they contribute on offense and how many points they let in on defense. And then they put everyone on a graph, okay? So left to right is how good or bad you are offensively, and up and down is how good you are defensively. And the best player still is Nikola Jokic. And honestly, I thought the defense would slip, but we're like 20% into the season and the Nuggets have the 3rd best D. Steph Curry obviously is the best offensive player in the league, and it's not close. He is above average on defense too, so you can see why he is over KD in MVP talk. My surprises are Montrezl Harrell, who should be getting 6th man love. Damian Lillard surprisingly is the worst defensive player in the league, but the worst overall player is Jalen Suggs. He's shooting 24% from 3, and he leads the Magic in turnovers. The underrated players that I think should get more love, Cole Anthony of the Magic. He is 20 points per game on 6 assists, shooting 37% from deep. DeJounte Murray is balling out with DeMar DeRozan gone. 18 points and almost 8 assists. I think if he improves his efficiency, DeJounte will get national love, but 31% from 3 ain't cutting it. And my Twitter friend Swish Out nominates Seth Curry being overshadowed by his brother. Seth at 16 points a game on an insane 44% from deep. And for my regular AM Hoops viewers, guys, this was kind of like a recap of the week and sort of my favorite stories and stories that I think people didn't hear about. I got some feedback about going from 5 days a week to just 3 days a week, that some people rely on AM Hoops for their NBA news because you had a video dropping every day so you could keep up with the league. Well, I figured a fun, good way of keeping up with the news would just be on Fridays, to do kind of like a weekly recap where we give the news and then kind of comment on the news so that you still know everything that's going on in the league. And another way to keep up with the league is the top 10 biggest surprises this season. And yes, I am officially on the Warriors bandwagon.